What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of On the Line with Catfishing. Catfishing. Now, this is our third episode, and I decided to bring on a very special guest for this particular one. I brought on my buddy Chris from Katfish Clothing. So that's his apparel brand. He's a very good friend of mine, and I also consider him not just a friend, but hands down one of the people that I go to when I'm looking for advice when it comes to content creation, finances, or just fishing in general. The man is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm more than happy to call him my friend. So I had to bring him on for an episode. Now, the only problem was me and Chris didn't have a topic in mind. We just got in front of the camera and started talking. And before we knew it, we'd talked for 2 hours. So that would be an insanely long episode for me to upload. So instead of just doing one huge dump of it, I'm going to turn it into a 3-part series. So I think I've talked more than enough. Let's go ahead and jump into this episode of On the Line with Cursebank Catfishing. Well, we can make it interesting because we can go as far as to actually address the fact that there are more content creators and pro staff now than there has ever been in the industry, thanks to the inclusion of apps like TikTok and shit like that. And everybody's chasing fame or chasing money, but some people don't know how to find it.
Well, the problem is that people are relying on, AI and TikTok apps to create the content. There's no content. Let me back up. There's really not that many content creators. And when I say it all the time, like if you're a content creator, hit us up. And what 99% of the people send me would be either a TikTok CapCut video, or B, a video where they just standing down at the dock and reeling a fish in. And just to clear things up, neither of those are content creation, and neither of them are really viral or have the viral ability. So when I say I want to talk to when I say, if you're a content creator, what I'm talking about is someone that writes a script, puts a story together, edits and clips with transitions, something from beginning to end, and it doesn't have to be long. It could be 20 seconds, it could be 20 minutes. It doesn't really matter. The point is that there has to be some sort of flow, some interaction with the video, with the camera, and a point, a purpose, a reason to watch, and a reason to watch it again. So if it and that would be either entertainment wise, educational, or something, a combination of the two. And that's the part that's what I really don't like about TikTok, is it's made it people believe that they're content creators when all they did was just put a couple little clips together, and then CapCut created these transition and a video, and boom. But that's not content creation. What you're doing with YouTube, content creation. Some of the stuff that we do with filming clips from the takedowns to catching the fish to releasing it, verbiage in between, that's content. We write scripts, we do skits, it doesn't have to be, but it could be educational as far as casting a rod, putting out a gill net, throwing a cast net. That's content creation.
It's a great topic, so that's what we're going to stick with.
Yeah, that's a topic. I mean, that's something that I've been doing for. I mean, God, I've been doing content creation videos, and now I've taken breaks from time to time. We lost him. Where at Jesse? Where'd he go? You cut that part out.
Had to get my lighting right. I was too.
I've been doing content for many, many years. My mentor, I was very lucky. My mentor is Keith Robinson from Fishing and Stuff. That was my mentor. I've got all his hand-me-down recording equipment. I mean, him and I used to be on the phone. So Keith used to work third shift. Now he's retired and all he does is content now. But when Keith would get off work at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm headed to work. He's calling me and we would talk for 30 or 40 minutes. And it was always about content and how to make a great viral video, how to, get paid through social media, how to do all these different things. And so, I was fortunate to have a mentor like that. Um, then I was able to go and work with other people, and we did content. That's something that I don't know if people watch, but we used to do content creation weekend. We'd have a bunch of guys come together. We would do skits and we do all kinds of stuff, fishing related. It didn't always have the fish in it, but it was fishing related.
That's the point too, though, and I think you hit the mark on it earlier. A lot of people think that you can just film catching a fish, and that's content. No, people do that every single day.
It's content. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from anyone that does it. That it is content, but there's a difference between that type of content and then going viral.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all got to start somewhere, and if anybody tries more things, I always, and don't be afraid to try something new. It might fail, it might not. And if you watch any of our pages, like I'm always trying something new. I mean, like I've tried some of the cap cut stuff. Sometimes it works. I mean, to putting some videos out there that probably may or may not get the best reviews or the best comments. I know. I mean, we realize that they're not going to get good comments, but you got to try. You got to start somewhere. Sometimes you're surprised. Recently, a lot of people are doing this cap cut stuff, and we're trying it because we're experimenting to see what's going on. Problem is, that stuff just flat out doesn't. I mean, it does okay, and it sometimes in some cases does very, very good, but it's never going to be as good as, well, I'm not going to say never, but it's not as good as organic homemade content.
Well, the
And
other
that's
part too is the market's flooded with it. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it because it's a trend, right? So if it's trending, then if you're a content creator, if something's trending, then you should do it to a certain point, a certain amount, because
Yeah.
it's trending and it's going to work, and it's going to drive traffic to your page. It's going to give you views that you probably never get before. But that type of content's never going to get you a core audience that's going to keep coming back for more, because it's just another. I mean, it's just another. It's like having another coupon code. It's just another coupon code. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
So I'll add a step farther onto that too. So a lot of people too, when they're using the CapCut thing, full disclosure to anyone who is watching. So like when I'm editing YouTube, CapCut on the computer is what I use to edit, but we don't have all those fancy pre-built transitions or nothing like that. It's like a cheaper version of what is it, Adobe Acrobat.
yeah, I use Power Director. So
Yeah.
and I use Power Director because that's what Keith uses. That's where I learned. I mean, they all essentially do the same thing, and even Power Director does, has some AI transitions. Like I say, they work really well in certain situations, but it's kind of like a false economy if you believe that that's what you're doing to be a content creator versus all the skits that we've done. I mean, one of our probably more famous skits, and I think it got tens of millions of views. It's when me and Ernie were on my boat and we got snagged, and I said, okay, well, we're snagged. Before we leave, this is what the line was snagged. We were still fishing. So, all right, before we leave, let's film a video out of this. Let's make something. And so the skit was somebody takes your rod and it was your turn to fish. And so then, like, how do you retaliate? And like my retaliation was I took the knife and I cut the line.
Yeah.
And it got I mean, God, it got, I mean, it got millions and millions and millions of views. And the funny thing was, it only took maybe 5 minutes to put that together. So, we saw, and that's part of content creation, right? So you see something that is an opportunity, and then you say, well, okay, let's expand on that. What can we do with this opportunity? Instead of just, cutting the line and moving on, let's do something with it. And that's what we did. And he's a master, right? As far as that stuff, but we were doing, all of us were doing that stuff, me and Haz and Ernie and Alof and even Chunky, we were doing that stuff, I don't know, back in like 2019.
I would say, I thought it was like the last 3 or 4 years at minimum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We started, well, I know it was in 2020, we all signed up for TikTok at the same time. Matter of fact, we all signed up for TikTok in my truck on the way to Kansas City. And that was 2020. I think it was 2020. But so anyway, it was before that we were already doing skits. And one of the first skits we did was Haz showed up to come fishing, and he walked, so again, you got to see an opportunity. If you see opportunity, you got to take it. He comes walking up. He says, man, I got the bait. And I looked in the bag, and he had stopped and got, because I had said, hey, why don't you go pick up some chicken, right? And I'm thinking like fried chicken. And he shows up. And so it's okay, let's redo it. And we walk, go back to the end of the dock, set a few cameras up. He walked down, I looked in the bag. He says, I got that Jello chicken. I looked in the bag and I took it and I threw it in the river. And that was, it was hilarious. But it took, and now, it takes no effort. That's the point. It takes no effort at all. But I mean, we did that. We did this stuff, for fun, right? It was just fun.
Yeah.
But then also we did these skits and things for visibility on our pages. And that was kind of one of the things that we used to help grow our brand and, just keep things fun and light, man. It was I just want to let's just have a good time. For fishing, let's have a good time. We're catching lots of fish, let's have a good time. If we're not catching lots of fish, let's just have a good time, because at the end of the day, we're all doing what we love. And if we can make some content and some videos behind it, well, then it's a win-win. And then now it's like time has changed. We're all being paid to do that. So heck, you can't get a better job. It's literally, content creation is literally the best job possible that there is. I mean, it's just the best. You
get paid to do what you love, man.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, because you're like, well, this shit doesn't work and that doesn't work, and you're struggling to try to find like something. And lots of times it's not you, or it's not it's just could be just whatever platform you're on, just as running funky, or
the algorithm.
Yeah. I mean, like this month we're at 22 million views on Facebook, just Facebook, and the last week has been terrible. Like we can't get anything to work.
That's the game you play, though, right?
Yeah, it's a gamble, but I think that's what makes it fun. To me, that's what makes it fun. I enjoy I just enjoy the challenge and the whole thing. And I like trying to look at it from a different perspective and say, well, okay. Or if I see something, I go, like I see a video, and then I go, I know I got something in my catalog of videos that will relate to this. And so then I can just put my stuff with it. And then lots of times it works out.
I think that might be one of the bigger things too that you hit on earlier is seizing opportunity and making sure that things are relatable. Well, the biggest part is and just be prepared. And this goes for anybody who's trying to be a quote unquote content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call yourself. With the good comes the bad. You'll have the trolls, the haters, all this other crap that exists.
I don't know. That's part of
they my biggest fans, man.
Man, and like sometimes we get trolled, and it's like, wow, like, I mean, they're trolling you for, and they don't, obviously they don't know us, and they, they're just trolling whatever. But people troll and they think like maybe they're gonna, like, I guess, get you upset. And I mean, like, if you do this long enough, like, that shit don't bother me at all. And
No.
I mean,
Hey,
it's just part of life. I mean, Facebook is brutal. You don't get the trolls on YouTube and some of the other platforms, but Facebook definitely has. It's just, I guess, it's just
well,
kind of it is.
I think back to the video. I actually sent it to you, the one of me and my buddy Ty with the boat we found.
Mhm.
And everybody on there, you
Oh, yeah,
had
we got trolled on that
seventy
one.
percent 70% of people, they know it's a skit, they think it's funny, and the other rest of them, they're all sitting there going, "Oh, that thing was born on the bottom." No joke, dude. It's a skit.
Yeah.
This is funny.
I get people. Yeah, I mean, we get some people that get mad about it, but like, here's the thing: I don't, and I don't watch TV, so I haven't watched it in 10 years. I don't have one, but it doesn't matter. It's still, anything that you watch on TV, it's all fake.
Yeah,
It's all put together, even game shows, and I mean, so it's entertainment. So if you can, I mean, it's just entertainment, and it's having fun with your buddies.